And we just want to point out, remember that even if it will be single elimination, but even if you lose, it will be based on your performance. And even if you don't win and you perform well, you can still have a chance. So come in, hang around, have a good time, and we're about to get started. All right, so we're coming here on Nepal, where it looks like we're going to be in Sanctum. We're going to be looking at the left or right side of the map, the high ground with a mega health kit, a very powerful spot for our teams here. We're going to have Hung Fanclub versus the Beezy fans.
I'm really excited to see if either team plays Junkrat without Mercy here, given that we've seen so much Mercy in Overwatch League. It'll be interesting to see how teams use the Junkrat without the damage boost.
Yeah, and we are running, of course, the current patch of Overwatch that will be with the Mercy nerfs and the slight Junkrat nerfs. So we're going to see here what they come out. We'll be rolling out here. So get ready for a great and exciting match, everyone.
You see an interesting comp difference here, too, between the Zen Moira and the Lucio Moira. The Beezy fans are definitely going to get to the point slower, but they'll have a lot more damage on the tank line of Hung Fanclub.
It looks like we're going to be running a static comp from both, looking to inch towards that point, and presumably the high ground of it. We see the players here getting ready to warm up. We're going to have a soldier versus a tracer, so giving that power on the flank versus having the that backline damage coming in from range. So we're going to see how that plays out for our teams.
I think the Beezy fans are definitely favored with this comp if they can get in position on the left side high ground. They have a lot more shield damage, and the Junkrat can zone away the Tracer pretty effectively.
So as Elk was saying, we're going to see Blue, the Hung Fanclub, get the point first with that Lucio taking better positioning. But we're going to see that higher damage comp coming out from the Beezy fans with that Soldier and Zenyatta comp. And of course, we have the Moira with this high amount of healing on both sides for that. We're going to see how fast these ults come up. And it's all going to come down to the spam fight. We see both teams pushing up the left side, trying to take that ground control with the barrier fight going in favor. Windsire does get hooked, though, being pulled way out of position. The Moira is going to try to extend the healer. We have a Junkrat in the back lines on point, but he does get taken down by Master Sun. We see that control now. They are down Junkrat on Hung Fanclub, and we see that Red is rotating to point, taking good positioning. Moira really keeping her team up.
Yeah, you can definitely see the damage on the shield coming through from the Soldier and the Junkrat. Hung Fanclub just didn't really have enough damage to burst down the Orisa, whereas the Beezy fans were able to tear through the Junkrat and the tank line.
We will say Beezy fans get a nice pick on the Moira, staggering the next put with a Riptire coming out from Hung Fanclub. Doesn't quite find anything, but finds the Zenyatta, and we're going to see the Moira pop her ult here to try to hold position. Breezy fans holding very aggressively on this right side. They're going to have to rotate back to point. And we can see that Hung Fanclub has already rotated to the left side.
This is pretty bad positioning from the Beezy fans. You want to be set up on point when the team comes out of the choke because you don't want to have to use your cooldowns before the choke. Now they have a shield disadvantage and they're probably going to lose this fight.
Now we do have a Soldier ult coming up, and a Trance does come onto point for the Breezy fans, able to keep them up. Let's see what Master Sun can do with this ult. He does find a Snowman on the defense, as well as Slash. So we're going to have a good stabilization here, and Hung Fanclub is going to have to back up and reset.
It was really good positioning by that Soldier to get that ult off in an effective way. A lot of times in this comp, you can just end up shooting tanks with it, but he found a good way to get it off.
We're really seeing Kwanzaa here take good positioning, holding them back, and rotating quickly back to point. With Master Sun hanging around and keeping his team alive, and especially the back line. See a big hook out of Slash, really pulling in that Moira. That'll probably be the fight for them. That's a huge pick. All they gotta do is pull this. But we see a counter pick from Kwanzaa, but he can't quite finish off the kill.
I think it's really interesting to see their positioning here on the left side. I really think they should be playing point. It's a lot stronger and much easier to defend with the Junkrat.
We do have both Riptires up, so we're going to see what they're going to make of them. Orisa on the Breezy fans will be coming back with it, and Spoons does find the hole. Master Sun having another Tac Visor up and ready. He is getting pressured out by this Roadhog Slash, but he's going to have to back up and look for help. We see big plays coming out from Hung Fanclub, and it looks like they're going to flip this point and take control.
Yeah, Kwanzaa was playing really well on the Hog there on the left flank, but he just kind of got out-pressured by the Soldier as they walked back in.
Now, Breezy fans do have a good ult advantage. They got 6 ults coming back into this fight versus Hung Fanclub's 3. So we're going to see them probably use those to push in. Let's see if they use a good ult economy and make sure they only use what they need to take the point. They do pop the Trans as well as the Riptire on the Hung Fanclub side. So we're going to see if that can do anything. Slash popping his ult.
Huge tire.
Huge tire finds both Spoons and Master Sun. Quantum getting a huge pick. So we're going to see Blue here look for some final picks, but back off ultimately.
Yeah, that tire was huge. They just won a fight where they had ult disadvantage. If they can stabilize, they're probably going to win the map.
We see big picks coming out from Breezy fans using their ults, pushing in here. We see Quantum set up in the back, but with his front line down, there's not a lot he can do. Looks like Hung Fanclub is going to have to force it back up.
They got a little over-eager there after getting a couple picks. I think they should have backed up and just played it slow.
So we're going to see Hung Fanclub push in here for our final push. Really desperation. We can see that overclock time ticking down. And it doesn't look like they're going to be able to find it. A big ult out of Master Sun at the end there.
Yeah, I think Hung Fanclub just got a little bit over-eager towards the second half. Once they already capped the point, they didn't really need to extend into the choke like that. Playing back, especially with the Junkrat Soldier, is a lot better. You want to give them room to do damage.
So we can see that a big issue here was probably the comp. With Breezy Fan taking relatively good positioning up on that high ground and being able to hold it with Hung Fanclub not having enough damage to push back into him.
Yeah, especially once you get the Zenyatta set up with the Soldier Junkrat, it just has such an advantage over the Lucio Moira. Even though you have mobility, since you're not playing dive tanks or dive DPS, trying to gap close and pressure out the Zenyatta is just really hard.
So it looks like we're going to be running more towards a dive meta here on Village. We're going to see both teams running very similar comps, with the exception of nothing, with the Mercy. With the Mercy
instead of Moira,
versus the Moira.
I think that Zenyatta is the best support in dive, and I'm a little confused why neither team is running it, but it'll be interesting to see how it goes.
We're going to see what they can make of it up on this high ground battle. We're going to find both teams diving their back lines, seeing who can basically pick off find those key picks early in the fight. Mid-fight breaking out here. It looks like the target focus isn't quite there for these pickup teams.
It's a really crucial pick on that Moira. It takes away a lot of the healing for Hung Fanclub.
And we can see that all their teams kind of going down with that lack of healing, with only the Lucio heals to keep him up when even he's down. And we're going to just see cleanup here out of the Breezy fans.
It was a really good fight by them. Picking off that Moira early took away a lot of the healing for the Hung Fanclub tank line.
All right, we're going to see where the Breezy fans choose to hold. We see the Diva on the high ground, a very good choice. It looks like most of their team is going to rotate up, and we're going to see if Hung Fanclub chooses to go around the main to choke, or if they're going to try to push up in the high ground here.
It's interesting. They swapped to Soldier, but are still on the Moira, so it's pretty awkward to do split plays because you don't have any ranged healing. So let's see if that Soldier can survive the dive, especially when Beezy fans can damage boost their Genji.
So it looks like they're looking to opt to rotate right to point and put the pressure on Breezy fans to come and retake the site. We do have Master Sun with the blade coming out here. Let's see what he can get done with it. Finds one at least. We had a pulse bomb too at Asun. We're finding 3 picks on the side for the side of the Breezy fans. They're going to be able to close out this fight.
It's a pretty good fight. I don't know if you needed Blade and Pulse Bomb, considering Hung Fanclub had no ults. It'll be interesting to see how they use their support ults in this next fight, because they have a massive advantage. I'd like to see them try to only use Diva Bomb, but we'll see.
We also have a 4th ult coming up, so good ult economy in the side of Breezy fans. It's going to be tough for Hung to push back in here. They're probably going to need to eco push once or twice to get those ults out of the way, because otherwise there's no way they're going to win that fight with going up against 4 ults now. So we see them trying to put the pressure on the high ground. We see the Winston jump up and force people down. We find a nice pick onto, so the beat drop will be down. We see a bunch of ults coming out here. Big plays by LT Blue, trying to find that opening for his team. We see Soldier Quantum here getting pressured out by that Tracer and finally taken out by that Winston play. So it looks like even with that initial pick, Breezy fans tanks doing a really good job at mitigating the damage and really isolating out targets.
Yeah, the target focus here is a little bit messy. Even though Beezy fans lost Lucio early, he was able to come back in the fight and get off his feet.
All right, we're going to see. Let's hope they regroup, because they're going to need the time for one more push with the clock ticking up to 90 here. The Hung Fanclub is really not going to have another opportunity to re-engage here, so this will be their last fight. We do see the Moira ult come out with Quantum finding the DMech, but it may not be enough here in overtime. We do have ults coming back up. We have a beat drop on the side of Hung Fan, but Quantum finds 2 pigs. Hopefully, 3, 4, 5 huge plays coming out of Quantum, being able to equalize the fight and take back the point.
That's an insane visor. So that fight, Beezy fans used Beat, Valkyrie, Diva Bomb, Blade, and still didn't win it. I think Hung Fanclub are looking pretty good for this next fight, too.
All right, we're going to see Hung Fanclub here regroup back on the high ground. They're going to have a really solid hold here at 99%. We do have a Pulse Bomb coming up for both sides. We're going to see what they can find with that. Breezy fans pushing the high ground with big dive out of Windows Fire. We're not going to be able to find anything yet. Pulse Bomb comes out from the side of Hung Fanclub. Doesn't quite find anything, but there is a pick onto Snowman, so that's going to be in the Breezy fans' favor. A pulse out of Spoons finds the Lucio, giving them a 2-pick advantage. We're going to see here what they can do with that. Beat drop does come out, being able to stabilize the team, and we see the Breezy fans rotate the point, really putting that pressure in, and the frags just come out from the flankers and DPS on Breezy fans, really able to close out that fight.
Yeah, that was a really good slow dive by them. They took it slow, they jumped in, saw that the tanks were out of position, turned to punish. I think they played that fight really well.
It's just going to be
get back in
cleanup
and
here.
contest. Anybody? Oof.
It'll just be cleanup here, and Breezy fans will take map 1 on Nepal.
Yeah, that was a good map. I would have liked to see, I think, a little bit more counter dive for the Soldier. He got kind of caught out a lot by the Monkey Diva and the Genji. I think that maybe peeling for him a little bit better would be nice.
Yeah, and we can really see the target focus on the sides of the Breezy fans, really giving them the advantage here. With the DPS and the tanks really on point, being able to mitigate the damage as well as find the picks they need to take that fight.
Beezy is informing me that not to call Breezy fans, saying Beezy fans. Just
oh, it's Beezy fans.
It's Beezy fans.
Ah, all right.
Yeah.
Well,
No
we will be. That'll be one of many flubs from me. So we are going to be looking towards King's Row now. So this will be match point as it is best of 3. So it's first to 2 wins. We're going to be going into King's Row. With any tips you have for Hung to try to come back from this?
I think running quad tank with how they were playing would be a lot better. They seem to like the Moira Lucio, which favors quad tank a lot more, and King's Row is a map where you can kind of pull it off. With their target focus being messy, it might not be great, but I still think it's the best comp they're going to run with.
Yeah, and we're going to see, it's great now in our state of Overwatch that we have a lot of different comps being viable. You know, you see that triple and quad tank, you see the dive, and it looks like we're ready to move into King's Row. All right, so we'll see here what they choose to pick. We'll have Beezy fans on attack, excuse me, with Hung Fanclub on the defense.
I think triple tank Junkrat and quad tank are both pretty similar. The triple tank Junkrat has a lot more shield pressure and damage on tanks, but with the quad tank you can kind of engage a bit quicker. It doesn't look like either team is running Lucio with their tanks, which is interesting. Oh, okay, Beezy fan swapping to it.
So we're going to see key positions here being contested. Obviously the point for the objective, but the high ground as well allows you to rotate all the way around the point, keeping the positional advantage. As well as Hotel, just to the left of point, next to the statue, is a very, very common place to hold, especially for Junkrats, to prevent that rotation. And it gives a very defensive position for him, as you can just spam Hotel as well as Choke. And it gives your supports a free place to hide if you can hold that positioning. So we do see Hung Fanclub coming out with the Junkrat. So you're going to see the Junkrat's going to want to hold in Hotel with his team fighting on the point, because he should be able to hold Hotel mostly by himself unless the whole team pushes him. That's a very good position for him. You're going to see that they are opting with the Zen Moira, which is a good comp, but the only real contest they have for the high ground in terms of the defense will be the Diva.
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see. So for the Beezy fans to win this first fight, they either need to kill Zenyatta, kill Moira, or kill Junkrat. They're probably not going to be able to kill a tank with their comp. It'll be interesting to see how they use the speed boost to actually get into the back line of the Hung Fanclub.
And they will be running this quad tank here on attack, so we'll have a quad tank versus a standard setup from Hung Fanclub. So we're going to see this rollout coming here. We see those damage orbs coming out from Moira to try to build their ult very fast, though we do have the Diva to stop that. So we're at the choke here with Beezy fans, looking to rotate through statue. They're just looking for that opening, and they are going to engage very, very quickly into this fight. We see the tanks coming in. Senra does get trapped. And we see the mid-fight breakout here. Now we're going to see that Moira healing coming. They do find a pick on the Junkrat, but a big pin coming out from Snowman. Although he is taken down, it is about even in the fight, but the advantage will be in the favor of the attackers, as they do have that respawn advantage.
Yeah, that was a really huge pick, but the Zen Moira just isn't able to keep their tanks up right here.
Yeah, and especially with Moira going down there in the mid-fight, we're going to see the Beezy fans come in and clean up. They're just looking for those picks at the end there. You can see really strong tank play and target focus, being able to take those key things down. You notice that the Junkrat went down first, and that's a huge portion of their damage already out of the way. And then they just needed to clean up. They did find the Moira mid-fight, cleaning, basically ensuring the win on that fight.
Yeah, if you look at the ult charge for Beezy fans, you can see Kwanzi and Master Sun really did a lot of the work for their team in that fight, damage-wise.
So we're going to see a switch out of Quantum here, going to the opting for the Pharah.
I don't like that. I think Pharah is just a worse Junkrat in this situation.
Yeah, the Junkrat very, very good for dealing that high damage to the tanks. So we're going to see how that plays out for them. And with Mercy Nerfs, we're going to see also being a problem. We do see Snowman here, a little bit out of position, kind of panicking. He does, Window does find a pin onto him, but it's not enough as he's protected by the... You see a big shatter come out with a Diva Bomb at a slash. Finds a Zarya, and it looks like the Hung Fanclub is going to be able to reestablish here. But we see a lot of ults being popped here to try to take this fight.
I think that grab got eaten by the Diva.
So good play by the Diva there to eat the grab. But it will go into the way of the Beezy fans with a very powerful push. You can see the Moira was able to keep this team up for quite a while there, while the Hung Fanclub wasn't quite able to find anything. We see Quantum switch up again with Slash switching to the Roadhog as well.
They look a little lost about what comp to run. It's really important in the quad tank mirror or triple tank mirror even to keep your ult charge, because that's how you're winning fights since it's so brawly. I think that I'd like to see them kind of stick to one comp going into third here.
So we will see this contest at the last minute here on Streets phase. We see that Snowman again caught out of position, really panicking. Finds an early pick onto him and Moira, so that'll pretty much be the fight for them.
Yeah, as long as they don't die to this Tracer, they'll be fine here.
So Beezy is able to clean up and push them back.
So that's pretty interesting. I think Hung Fanclub are trying to force fights too much. I'd like to see them take it a little slower and try to pressure shield. It seems like Beezy fans are just kind of able to push through the Reinhardt every time. I think Snowman needs to play a little bit safer with the shield.
Now we do have ults coming up on the side of Hung Fanclub. We have the Moira ult with the Tracer Pulse Bomb coming up soon as well. So we're going to see how they can use them to try to stabilize here. Although we do have ults on the side of Beezy fan. We have this Moira ult. But again, not the most powerful ult in the game. But with Quad Tank, you can use it very efficiently to heal up your tanks. We do see the Moira ult popped out of here from Swag God to try to keep his team up. Big shatter coming out from Snowman. Finds the pick onto Moira. That's a huge pick for this quad tank lineup. They should be able to just bleed out the defense here. Quantum popping Visor at the end there. And Snowman finding huge kills at the end there. A 3K for him.
That was a really good shatter. Canceling the Moira ult and hitting some of the tank line is huge in this mirror.
So the Hung Fanclub able to stabilize here with a 4-minute and 30-second time bank. We're going to see they're going to choose to hold the corner here, taking advantage of that Soldier's range damage.
So because Hung Fanclub have no D.Va here, this grab for Master Sun should be really free. I hope he should be able to get 4 to 5 in it.
We see the engage here with Beat-Drop from both teams coming out later from the sides of Hung Fanclub. A big shatter coming out from Window. Snowman does go down for it. And Hoggle coming out from Spoons, pushing the defense all the way back. And he does find a pick onto Quantum, so that's a lot of damage out of the way there. Swaggot does have this ult up, but he doesn't quite have the team to use it. It looks like Hung Fanclub was regrouping quite a little bit to try to contest this at the last minute. We're going to see this grab coming out from Beezy. That'll be a big decider, and here we go. We see it come out here.
Oh, it's a huge grab.
A big hook, pulling out Slash from there and taking him out. With Moira finding a lot of picks. Stickman really cleaning up the kills there. And that will be the first attack out of Beezy fans. A very strong attack.
Yeah, Hung Fanclub took too long to pick the comp they wanted to play with. They were swapping a lot. Their ult usage in second wasn't great either. They got pretty snowballed through the entirety of Streets. I think Beezy fans had really good ult usage. They saved that grab for the last fight. They only used Beat and Shatter in the first fight on third. I think they should stick with triple tank, but I'm not positive.
So we see Hung Fanclub here trying to really stabilize here. So what would you recommend? Maybe a Reaper Zen or a quad tank of their own? What do you think we should?
I personally like dive into, especially if you're going to be playing Moira Zen on defense. You're really weak to dive because you can't peel for your Zen easily. But it looks like we're going to have a mirror with tanks again, and I think that Beezy fans are not favored. So they're playing Soldier instead of Junkrat, which is less damage on the tanks. He's a bit safer of a DPS, but he's still going to output less damage. And you're playing Zenyatta, who's really, really easy to kill in this comp. If Hung Fanclub just speed, the D.Va can 1v1 the Zenyatta in this comp. And
compared to Hung Fanclub, they're not going to be running that Junkrat, so they are going to be a bit lower in damage, and they're not going to be able to easily hold that hotel like Quantum was able to do at first. So we're going to see them rolling out here. Dive really favored so they can get a pick on those key targets, like the high damage, either Junkrat or Soldier, the supports. Moira is a huge pick, as you negate all of that healing, as well as take her out of the mid-fight, stop her ult charge.
Yeah, the two ways you can approach first point are you can either dive and try to kill the support line because you have better respawns, trading is okay, or you can play for a more tank comp like Beezy fans did and try to break shield, go aggressive into them and just take the brawl. But I think that Soldier on defense is kind of bad into both of those. It's okay into tanks, but I'd still rather pair it with a Lucio than a Zenyatta.
He does have the positional advantage of being able to use that high ground at range, but they will have a D.Va that will be able to try to negate most of that damage. So we're going to see Hung Fanclub here with a bit of a comp advantage here with the quad tank versus Breezy Fan's low damage Soldier. So we're going to see what comes in here. Hung Fanclub at the choke, looking to push in now. They do rotate statue. We see Soldier up on Plat, really pushing the damage out. Slash going up the pressure, a huge dive out of D.Va.
Huge pick.
And we're going to find Soldier's caught out, Master Sun already taken down. So that'll be a big advantage for Hung Fanclub as we'll have that long respawn. Snowman does go down to window. So we're going to see the picks coming out even, but with the advantage towards the attackers. We see the brawl breaking out here on point. Quantum really trying to find that Moira, but not being able to get through. That quad tank keeping her very safe. we're going to have the respawns coming back in. Soldier coming back, so they will have that damage. And it looks like Breezy Fans is able to keep them around this statue. Snowman really trying to buy that space, but they're not allowing him in. Really forcing back. A big hook comes out, but with all that healing, we're not going to be able to find what they need to take those picks. A very even fight. You can see the effects here. An early grab comes out, being able to really throw the fight in the favor. But we do see this Hog here coming all the way back for the Zenyatta, finding the pick, but he will be cleaned up. That is huge picks for Hung Fanclub. If they can regroup quickly and repush this, they will have an advantage here.
Yeah, when that Zen gets back with Transcendence, they probably can't win the fight. You saw in that fight a really big factor was the Zenyatta Discord versus the Lucio healing. Zenyatta just does so much more in those long fights where he's not pressured.
So we will see some ults coming up on the side of Breezy Fans. Soldier will not be able to do a lot unless he can find the Moira in the back. So we see the big bomb coming out here from Hung Fanclub. It does find Spoons. We see Whole Hog and Transcendence come out, basically negating one another. And we're going to see the mid-fight break here. We do find the Zarya on the side of Breezy Fans out of position. And able to, so he does have a grab. Hung Fanclub does pop the grab on point. But Master Sun finding a lot of value with that ult, even with the tank setup. So it looks like Hung Fanclub is going to be able to take the first point here, moving into our Streets phase.
Yeah, that fight was pretty messy. Hung Fanclub's grab got a lot of value, and so did their Whole Hog. I think Beezy Fans just need to reset in Streets here and try to have a couple good fights.
We don't see too much. We don't see any comp changes here, so they will be running what they are. Hung Fanclub still having the advantage. Their target focus is not at the same level as Beezy Fans, but they are able to find the picks they need here, especially on that Moira. You can see that as soon as that Moira went down, the tanks were able to just be bled out.
It'll be interesting to see if Snowman can get off this shatter here. It's one ult for a fight would be great. Oh! He
does go down early in the fight, so that will be Beezy Fans' advantage. They are looking to push this. A big charge coming out from window, and a Whole Hog out of Spoons, pushing them all the way back to spawn. Hung Fanclub will have to back out here, and Beezy will establish control on this corner.
Yeah, Snowman got a little too aggressive for that shatter, and his team got really punished for it. Him going down and then retaking Streets easily. I think that they should go for a hook shatter where they speed the Hog through the shield, try to hook the Reinhardt and go for the shatter play, but we'll see.
So we can see with that Zenyatta and the Soldier, even though it's not as much damage as they might need for a quad or triple tank setup, it will be enough to really break those shields. But we do find a big shatter, but the counter grab out of Quanzi finds all of them, and the follow-up shatter from Window, looking to clean that up. Tomorrow keeping the team up. Slash with a huge Whole Hog, finding 2 picks. Really what his team needs to start pushing through this street phase here. We will still be clean up here. Both Moiras are still up, keeping their teams well and live. But we do see the kills coming in for Hung Fanclub, really pushing in through. Gonna need that win for Streets phase as they begin rolling through here.
Yeah, I think Beezy Fans should have just reset after they lost 2. They grabbed and they got beat and Whole Hog out of that fight, which is huge. But then they invested Shatter, they were already down 2 tanks, and they invested Transcendence. I think that they really should have just reset. They're swapping to the Reaper here, which is interesting. Without a Lucio, I think it's hard to enable, though.
It will, but if he can survive during that mid-fight, he can get a lot of value just brawling out with those tanks. We do have Grab and Diva Bomb here coming in for Hung Fanclub, so that may be used to take this point here. So we're going to see what they can make with that. A big charge out of Snowman, trying to find what he needs, but can't quite do it. We see the Grab come out. Picks coming out for the side of Hung Fanclub. They will be able to take this. Very clean fight from them.
Yeah, I think they were a little overeager on the Diva Bomb. I think they could have won that with just grab, given how deep their Rhine charged. But still, really good Streets so far. I think they can cap with at least 3 minutes.
We will see an Ana here for the side of BZ Fans. Trying to keep those tanks alive with the Moira and the Ana healing. That will be a lot of healing, but they are opting to lose that Zenyatta or Discord damage, which is very, very helpful against this tank setup.
I think Ana's a fine pick here. You just need to be able to get off your Shatter this fight to really stabilize.
So we're going to look at a window here, looking for that Shatter. Ryan is on the left here, so he does have an opportunity. Doesn't quite take it, but we will see this shield battle coming through. Moral is popped on the side of Stickman with Shatter coming out, but the Moral able to keep them up and alive. Spoon's here, harassing the backline, trying to find a pick, or at least farm a Pulse Bomb. He is getting close. We're going to see who he chooses to stick here. Kills coming in from the side of Hung Fanclub with a big grab coming out of Quanzi. With a Pulse Bomb from Spoons, able to follow up. That will be enough to stabilize here. They will just clean up, and Hung Fanclub will be forced to regroup here.
Yeah, that was a really clutch grab. Caught both supports. It's pretty good. I think that BZ's Fanclub's comp is not worse than Hung Fanclub's, but with a Lucio, you should be able to pressure this Ana more. Like, Ana Moira doesn't have enough mobility to pocket the Reaper range through Diva Matrix. I think Hung Fanclub need to swap to 1 DPS. A McCree or a Junkrat could really try to punish this Reaper for how aggressive he's playing.
They do have Spoons in the back line here harassing. doing a lot of work for his team and just keeping the supports distracted. We do have a Death Blossom here coming up, but a bomb comes out. Big ult out of Masters that does find one. Spoon's finding another. Able to clean up on Snowman, and that'll be Beezy fans again stabilizing, able to push this through.
Yeah, Hung Fanclub really need to focus this Reaper more. He's getting a lot of value by just kind of walking in. I'd like to see them save Roadhog Hook and Matrix to try to actually deal with him when he goes in.
So taking care of Reaper to get him out of that mid fight and end fight is really, really important, because if you leave him there, he will farm his health back, and he will deal a huge amount of damage to the team. We do have a grab here on the side of BZ. So Hung Fanclub not looking too good here on the ult charge in the ult economy. So we're going to see another probably win from BZ fans next fight. Again, a big grab comes out. Any follow-up damage. We do see a shatter out of Snowman from the back line. Beat drop and more ult coming out from both sides. And we're going to see both teams here just really having that health pool really take advantage here.
Picks are much better for the BZ fans here too because they have the closer respawn, but I think they need to get more right here with how many ults they use.
So it looks like Hung Fanclub is starting to find what they need. They are going to start rolling this in. And it looks like BZ fans will have one last contest at this. They do have a shatter here, so they're going to have to look for that. But it's going to be...
Fanclub, if they can get off this grab, they're going to cap this point 100%. Oh, doesn't hit anybody. Still cap though.
There we go. So we will find Hung Fanclub able to find what they need to really close out the map there.
Yeah, I think that their comp was pretty good. Like, you're running quad tank on KR third, that's fine. They just needed to punish the Reaper early on in the fight, because if he lives with the Ana healing him, you're building the Nano, you're building the Moira ult, and he's outputting so much damage on your tanks, it's really hard to come back in fights. Like the Moira Lucio, yeah, they have a lot of healing, but they can't really heal through a Reaper walking into your Roadhog and 3-shotting him.
All right, so we're going to see what changes they make here after going through a solid first push here from both sides. We will see the BZ fans on the defense again. We will see they are opting for a Bastion pick, presumably to rip through those tanks. We're going to see how that works out for them.
I hope it's a troll. I don't think Bastion is good here. You can get Rhine pinned really easily. You can get Diva Matrixed and Dove. If they're on dive, you pretty much just die. Awesome, he's going to the Soldier. So I like this comp a lot more into quad tank. You can put the Ana Soldier high ground while playing point with the Rhine Zarya Junkrat Moira. So you have a lot of healing on point and sustainability for your tanks. The Junkrat, so it's a little hard to push in. And you have the Soldier Ana on high ground. Anti-nade, if it hits tanks, is huge. Obviously stops the Moira healing. And the Soldier's consistent damage output with the Junkrat, I think, will be favored.
On top of that, we're going to see BZ fans find ults a lot faster as they are chugging into these quad tanks, really building their ults quickly. So we're going to keep track of those as the fight breaks out here. So we do see them all holding around the corner here around Hotel. We will see Hung Fanclub rotate around Statue, looking to push in with their bulky comp. Only 60 seconds to attack, so they will have to make do with that. A good hook comes out, but he does get caught out of position, has to work back up, but that does buy them a lot of space. You can see Hung Fanclub's quad tank here really taking the positioning they need, already finding it sick onto the point, with the damage not really quite coming through from BZ fans. We see Junkrat here really far forward, chucking out huge amounts of damage, but that Moira healing does keep them up for quite a while. We are starting to see the kills come in from BZ fans with that high damage.
Yeah, I think that the positioning for BZ fans there on defense was just really bad. You need to have some people high ground to help pressure the back line.
What they needed to hold the Hotel as well as the high ground, so they don't really so they can't get pressured so easily by those tanks. You can see the tanks just walk in there. We do see another fight breaking out on the point. It looks like BZ fans were trying to contest this, but it looks like they're just going to have the position and the people to be able to keep this point.
Yeah, they just need to reset, get set back up. They have grab coming up. They have shatter coming up. They can definitely win a fight in street here. They need to like wait until they have the right fight. If you take a fight here and you use your grab, it's really unlikely you're going to be able to hold. You need to use the grab after Swagod uses his beat.
We're going to see the quad tank here very helpful for staying on that point. You already saw the positional advantage it gave them attacking the first point here. Able to just zone out BZ fans and their positioning.
I'd like to see the Soldier try to flank and get high ground here, or the Junkrat. I think having the damage behind the shield is really important.
So you see a charge coming out here. Really high charge on the sides of LT Blue. But a big shatter comes out from window, and that will be a clean up.
Yeah, that was a huge grab, huge shatter. I think Snowman, once again, got a little bit too aggressive looking for his shatter. I think he needs to be playing a little bit slower. He's getting punished a lot by BZ fans.
All right, so not a bad push. They do find first as well as a little bit into streets, but they will have to fend off this 340 push.
I'd like to see something other than just tanks here on this point. Especially if you only have to get it this far, I think dive is really strong. Granted, they did have success with the quad tank and the triple tank, so I wouldn't be surprised if they run it again, but I think there's more room for experimentation.
And I think on the side of Beezy fans, their comp were favored, but they weren't able to take the positions they needed. Soldier on the high ground has a very hard time getting pressured. You can see he can rotate all the way around the point, up on the high ground very safely, as well as Junkrat able to hold the hotel. And those are huge positional advantage, and while you may give up point, you can chug damage out from those positions while the tanks rotate the point, a common strat seen by Korea in the World Cup. But they couldn't quite find it as the Hung Fanclub was able to push in and just find the picks they needed and bully them out of the point.
Yeah, I hope they don't stay on this Widow. I'd either like to see them stick with a quad tank or run triple tank Junkrat. Both are really strong into quad tank, and on the attacking side, you get a lot more room to play with your shield. You can hide and recharge your shield while your Junkrat's still poking, stuff like that. But it'll be interesting. Also, the Ana on attack here, I'm not sure if I like. She can get pressured pretty easily if they just speed on her.
So it's really going to come down to Hung Fanclub being able to use that speed boost to push into the Beezy fans, which is not something you're always comfortable doing, but at high level play it needs to be done. So we're going to see Master Son here, see if he can find any picks. Obviously those key picks onto Moira or Lucio is all he's going to be able to find as they are running this quad tank on defense. You can see them holding through Hotel, and they do rotate through it already into the side of Beezy fans, just pushing them out with that huge health pool. A good anti-nade does come out from the Ana on attack. Finding that D-Mech, preventing that healing is very, very important. Master Son not able to quite find anything here with this huge amount of tank health. With the Brawl coming out on point, they're going to be lacking that damage that they need. And Beezy fans do find picks that the 2 tanks that they need. So the Hung Fanclub will just be stalling here with the health tools that they have, but they're going to be bullied out. A good Moira ult comes out very early from Beezy fans to maintain and to make sure they confirm this point.
Yeah, so Hung Fanclub had the right idea there. They used their speed aggressively, but the target they went on was wrong. They engaged on the Rhine and on the Zarya, and they just weren't really able to kill either because the Ana could pocket. And then because they dove in, the Ana nade was super easy to hit, got the huge anti. I think they'll be able to close this out here with Grav.
And because of that fight, they're going to have a huge ult advantage over Hung Fanclub. And they don't have to push it far. With the both respawn advantage and the positional advantage right now, you can see they're holding the corner already. And the ult advantage, it looks like it's going to be a good cleanup from Beezy fans. So we're going to look at this big grab here, a really big game-changing ult here. We're going to see what can come out of it.
D.Va actually has no mech right now. She's about to remax. So if you can get this grab off before... Ooh, okay.
So we see the grab come out, Nano, a lot of ults being popped, a big purple from the side of Beezy, and they're able to find picks, trade picks right now, but the Beezy is taking that positional advantage, really pushing it back. But Hung Fanclub is looking to stabilize on the cart. We see the mid-fight break out here, and a lot of positional break coming around.
Yeah.
Everyone's kind of scattering.
I think the Ana being set up here just means it's a one fight for Beezy fans. She is so much more healing than Lucio that if you don't pressure her, she will win the fight.
Yeah, you can see there, she hung around behind the cart, and as the mid-fight broke out, no one really focused her, and she was able to just get that free healing, free purples out. And it looks like Beezy fans will be able to take this.
Yeah, I mean, really well played by the Beezy fans. I think they played well on quad tank. I think the Ana isn't a great pick, but they protected her. She didn't get punished a lot. Worked out well.
So out of both teams here, who would you say looked very promising on both sides?
Well, play of the game by him, obviously. I think he played really well on Rhine. He had a lot of big shatters, punished Snowman really well. I think the tank play would really be my highlight.
Yeah,
especially from Beezy fans. They stayed together really well. They didn't get picked. They used their cooldowns together.
As a main tank myself, I can say that Window's doing a great job on that Rhine, finding huge shatters and value for his team. Really able to keep the positioning while dealing out that damage.